Tuesday morning. Good morning. Keep pounding Panthers. Row, row, row. Hey, it feels good to be back in first place, I'll tell you that. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so, and don't forget to check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game posts, polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, such as scheduling for the channel and for the Yahoo Sports app. Keep pounding Fantasy Bowl League.
At the light, use the middle lane to turn left onto Johnston Road.
It's a fun morning.
Right 2 lanes to turn slightly right onto the ramp to Pineville.
GPS, shut the fuck up for about 5 seconds. Jeez. Alright, thank you. It's a fine morning to be in Charlotte with the first place. Woo! I'm feeling good right now. I feel good. How y'all feeling right now?
Use the right 2 lanes to turn slightly right onto
we
the
about
ramp
to
to
get
Pineville.
this.
Then use any lane, take the ramp
Tampa
to
game.
I-485 inner.
We about to get to this Tampa game, man. We're about to get this Tampa game.
Use
I'm
any
telling
lane
you.
to take the ramp to I-485 inner.
I'm feeling good, man. We're taking this crown, y'all. We're taking this crown. There ain't no doubt about it. We're taking this crown.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-485 inner.
I'm just leaving Charlotte now. I had a very, very good weekend up here in Charlotte. Shout out to Dilworth Restaurant in downtown Charlotte. Love their food, man. Love everything they do. Man, it's been a blast, Charlotte. But it's time to head back. I got other responsibilities, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's been an honor, Charlotte. It has. Oh, I'll be back. City, man. I love Queen City. Love you, man. So we got a playoff push, man. Playoff push. Did somebody say playoffs? 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 Talking about playoffs? Playoffs? No, we couldn't be possibly talking about playoffs, could we? Playoffs? We got Carolina Panthers. Woo! I feel good. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I can't read the names right now, but shout out to all y'all in chat right now. I see you. I see you. I see y'all, man, as I'm driving back to South Carolina. But, we'll just call you Hope. We'll just call you Hope. Annoyed Clock. I like that name. That's a good name. Did the clock annoy you? Or did you get up on time? To see your Panthers first place. Love the name, man. Oh, it's so good. It is. Who else is this? Pinky. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. He says, "Oi, I'm assuming you are from Australia, sir. Are you? Well, good to have you on this fine Tuesday morning as we begin our conversations about playoffs today. Don't forget to hit that like button. It is free. Everything on this channel is free. And Don't forget to check out the other podcasters doing their thing. Blitzball Champ, who is under our umbrella of streamers, and Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast, of course. Go give him a sub as well. And to some of the other streamers that do their thing, you know, Tom Grossi, love him, man. Love the Packers Packcast, man. He rated our channel a couple of times, and I just love this dude, man. He's doing his thing up there in Green Bay, and I love it. I think he's up in Green Bay, isn't he? Or in that area. But I don't know where this dude's stationed at, but hey, thank you so much, man, for the love and support of this channel. And bro, like, I'm so happy that you found this channel, man. Like, I don't know who sent you the link to my stuff, man, but thank you. You must have just randomly found it in a search tab or something, man. But thank you. We love y'all's support, man. We love it. And we welcome all 32 teams fans. And what better time, you know, to lock in new streamers, you know, that are supporting the channel than right now, right when we're in the heat of a playoff push, you know? Yeah. And I'm just so excited, man. I see so much potential
In
for
half
this
a mile,
team.
continue straight to stay on I-485 inner. Signs for I-85 south, Huntersville.
I see so much potential for this team, man. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I'm up in Charlotte. The Queen City. The beautiful Queen City. And I will be seeing it again soon. You can bet on that. If we got a playoff game, you can bet my butt is going to be there. I do not miss those. Especially when this team is turned back around. So, as we look at the last two opponents that we have, Seattle beat the Rams by 3 points. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little skeptical of whether we're going to beat Seattle next week because of the trend that we have right now of win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And I'll tell you this, though, when we do play like we played the Rams and we played the Buccaneers, you know, in big games like this, we have shown that we have the firepower. You know, we can win this game if we want to. So, you know, as long as we don't make the same stupid mistakes we've been making against the Saints, I see definitely the potential of winning this game is in sight. Now, here's the danger. If you do try to hone in and 100% focus on Seattle, and you drop the Tampa game to end the season, and they beat the Dolphins, that's not a division crown. So it would behoove us to let this Seattle game drop. And I'm not saying completely fight for it, you know, and do our very best, you know, play like we need to play and try to win it. But if we do win it, hey, to the victor goes the spoils, and then we go to Tampa and we win Tampa. I'm on board with that. But we know, as Panther fans, that if we do that, there is the danger of dropping the Tampa game. And that is my concern. This truck is really loud. I'm trying to drive past it, sorry. But yeah, there is the danger of losing that Tampa game, though. And that's what I'm concerned about if we do beat Seattle next week. Because we have a tendency to drop games right after we get a big one. So, if we're staying on the current trend, we should be in the playoffs. That's the theory right now. Use a blinker next time, bud, please. So I know what you're doing. Thank you. I'm not even sure I can read your name right now. But what's up? I'll see you on the bottom of the chat. What's going on? I didn't get your name last time, but I got you this time. What's good? Alright, but yeah, we got a few things to talk about still, going into this playoff push. Now, dealing with Seattle, we are going to have our hands full. This team, I originally thought was better, was not as good as the Rams by 3 points. I had called that out several times on different streams. I had said the Rams were about 3 points better. Until that trick play that got him into their end zone in overtime. And that's when I said, okay, hold on. If they're pulling trick plays, they're desperate. They really want this division. And that's why I feel like if you're looking at this team, I think that Seattle is going to really, really be a problem. The way the NFL trends go, we might get blown out by Seattle. If we play like we did against the Saints, we'll probably get blown out. If we play like we did against Tampa, I could see this game going to within 10 points. But Seattle would have the advantage as of right now. Because of the fact that they're going to be trying to view trap plays and trick plays, you know, to get us off our rhythm. It's going to mess with us, man. And I don't know if this defense is ready for that. We've been playing a lot of zone defense. We've been doing a lot of nonsense in zone. But I don't know that we're ready for a situation where Sam Darnold comes in there and he runs some trick plays and throws us off our rhythm defensively. Now, that's not going to affect our talent. That's going to affect where we go and how we react. The positive thing about this is we've got a lot of tape on Seattle to work with. So we've got a full game's tape of plays, including the trick plays, you know, against the Rams to study on. So I encourage the staff, you know, and the players to do their homework diligently on Seattle. And I mean really diligently. Look for the fine-tooth comb details. Because at this point, anything that we overlook could cook us. And I'm not even joking about that. That's how diligently we had to prepare for the Rams. That's how diligently we had to prepare for Dallas and the Green Bay Packers. So, those three specifically, we had to absolutely dig deep in the tapes. Because there was and so little time to do it in. And as I recall, one of those was a short week. So, shout out Delusional. I can't even say the rest of your name right now because I'm driving. But shout out to you. What's up? But as we look at the difference of skill players versus talent on this team, it becomes apparent we have a lot of talented players. It's not just skill players, it's talented players too. So I encourage people to listen to that and to notice that we are not going to just put people, you know, like the old days. We are going to be putting people in the right spots. So we need to be hyper aware of where we decide to put these players, especially against Seattle, because any wrong mismatch could cook us. And yes, I'm talking about DJ Metcalf. Yes, I'm talking about a couple of these other guys too. If we are in the wrong place, Nick Scott. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Nick Scott. If we're in the wrong spot, it could cook us, man. I'm not even joking. I'm not trying to be that guy right now, but you know what I mean? Dick did give up that big play in coverage. And I warned people. How many times I warned y'all? Is this going left? They want me to go across the bridge. Alright. Word. I'm not sure where this is. I've never seen this area. I've never seen so many roundabouts in my lifetime. The heck is this? Sorry, y'all. Hold on a second. Got to focus up on the road here. But I believe that we have a lot of opportunities against Seattle. Mainly because if you look at how many holes that Stafford found in that defense, I think it's possible, you know, to do something big. You know, get some big plays in there to Tet. Try to force one into XL. You know, they got some good corners though. We are really gonna have our hands full, and that's what I'm concerned about. They have a really good defense. It may not have looked like it against the Rams, but again, it's Stafford. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Stafford. What are you expecting to happen? You know? And what I tell you about Stafford after he threw those 2 picks against us, he only threw 1 after that. I told y'all this man's about to go on a special mission and make sure he does not throw picks anymore. What'd I say? Stafford's only thrown like 1 or 2 picks since then. That man is on a mission. We done pissed this dude off. I've never seen him more careful with the ball after we got through with him. That says something about our defense, man. Like the fact that we picked off Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford twice. We picked off Jordan Love, I believe, too, didn't we? I know we picked off Dak Prescott. I know that for a fact. So, I mean, this defense is finally back. And we're finally doing something that is substantial. Kiwi Hottinger. Yeah, that was your name. Okay. Shout out Kiwi. How you doing? I just now got a chance to look at it. So, sorry about that. Alright. Wrong turn. As usual. Let me turn around here. My dumb self. I'm telling you, this GPS is messed up, man. You won't even see the turn unless you're really paying attention to it. There it goes. All right. Cut it right here. That's what's up. But yeah, this defense is on a mission this year, man. We're picking people off. We're doing things that we normally have not done in the past like 6 or 7 years. And I'm so excited because we have done so well preparing for the teams. Oh my God, this traffic looks like AIDS. Oh boy. That looks like fun. Alright, can I get in here? Can I squeeze in here? Can I squeeze in here? Thank you. Thank you. Alright. Awesome trucker. Alright. But yeah. This defense is finally doing some stuff that they normally don't do. And I'm excited because we're starting to take those next steps progressively forward. You know, we're getting a ton of pass blocks this year. We're getting a ton of opportunities for interceptions, you know, by creating those opportunities. You know, right players at the right time in the right space, you know. That's what happens when you do the research and you understand and you do the film study and you know where you're supposed to be at and you're there, you know, where you're supposed to be. Shout out Lock Poppy in the chat. What's going on, my mod? What's good, man? Good to have you back. But yeah, man, like I'm so excited for these players because they're creating these opportunities for themselves. You know, it's not even just the coaching staff, it's the players creating the opportunities for themselves. Like you see these wide open routes by Tet McMillan. Yeah, that is partially on the coaching staff for creating the playbook, but it's also on Tet to get open too, you know, in those situations, which we all know he has the skill for and the ability to do it. In those cases of the Tampa game, the Rams game, the Green Bay game, the Dallas game, you know, Miami, Bryce Young was helping him out by creating an excellent playbook and excellent route tree for him, which makes me very, very pleased. Because when you create an excellent route tree, these wide receivers will use it and they will exceed it with it if they've got the skills. When you're dealing with defense, pace in the right spot at the right time with coverage, to make sure you're not letting these big get open. In such cases, it'll cover 3, and God forbid defense, and a single high safety. So when these players are at the right place at the right time, they're going to get the job done. So it's just as much on the players as it is on the coaching staff to prepare them and to do the research both ways. So, and I've said this before, even the players could be a student of the game, just as much as the coaches can be a student of the game. So if you are studying well and you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, can you put it on the field? Can you execute said things that you learned? And that's what these practices are for. To understand, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to be in this gap. I'm supposed to be in this gap on this particular play. So I'm there. When you execute it well in practices and the practice reps, then you're going to see results on game day. And that's exactly what you've been seeing is results on game day. Look at the interceptions that we've gotten. That's proof that these guys are in the right gaps at the right time and shutting these runs down. It creates these opportunities for the pass rush to get there a little sooner, and also for the coverage man to be hyper aware and not have to focus on the run as much, so they can open the door to get pass deflections and create interception opportunities. So, and pass blocking opportunities as well. So then it falls on the coaches to say, okay, how do we get fill in the blank quarterback to throw it to where we want them to throw it to? And that's exactly what happened with Jordan Love and Dak Prescott. We wanted both of them to throw it at exactly the right place that was a favorable matchup for us, while we take advantage of everything else and shut everything else down. Because we know these quarterbacks such as Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, they're going to hit passes. That's not in question. We know that they have that type of talent to hit all these wide receivers, all throughout the game in multiple different route trees. So the trick is, how do we get them to play into the matchups that we want them to play into, while we shut everything else down. And that's exactly what happened with Tampa Bay, because everybody knew that you don't test J.C. Horn. You just don't test him. It's not going to work to your favor. You only saw Baker try Mike Evans maybe 3-4 times in that game, and that was it. When he was on JC, that was it. You didn't see him test him at all after that, because you knew, as everybody knew, JC Horn is a lockdown beast. You're not getting it. It's not happening. He's not going to pull a Julio Jones on JC Horn. It's not happening. I don't care how much Tampa wants that to happen, it's not going to happen. So 2 of those passes were forced to Mike Evans because everything else was taken away because of Mike Jack. And that's where Mike Jack comes in because he's an exceptional player. Hope we can beat the Seahawks. Got them at home. Yep. Shout out. I think like Poppy on that one. It's tough to read when I'm in the sunlight here and I'm driving. Need Miami to win as well. Yes. Isaiah Isaac. Yes. You are correct. A Miami win would be big. Yes, Lock Poppy, yes. You are correct. Honestly, I don't see it happening, but the NFL is wild, man. You never know. I mean, we just saw the Jaguars win yesterday, so this weekend, so you just never know. I mean, the Jags came out of nowhere and started balling out. I didn't even see that coming. I thought, okay, you know, since we pretty much pegged Trevor Lawrence at this point as that type of quarterback, you know, that C-class quarterback in the NFL, you know, he's just above average, C+. You know, he's got the skills, but he's just about to break out, but he just can't do it because he doesn't have enough weaponry. You know, because the management isn't giving it to him. But as we all know, and we watched Trevor Lawrence before, we know this dude can take that talent that he's got and turn it into gold. He's done it with Clemson. You know, he's done it a couple of times in the first couple of years when he was in Jacksonville. But you got to have a really good route tree for these wide receivers, and you have to have a game plan. And that's the problem is Jacksonville didn't really have a game plan. They were just kind of winging it. And that's the coaching staff. So to see them come out of nowhere and do something right now is surprising. And somebody's got to when the Colts are desperate enough to go for a 40-plus year old Phillip Rivers. I mean, honestly, it's wild. You never know what's going to happen in the NFL this year. It's just getting weirder and weirder every year. And that's to our advantage. Because we've been taking advantage of it this year. Imagine what we could take advantage of next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. But yeah, I don't think Baker threw towards JC at all that game. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to be reading these comments really slow because I got to focus on the road. Yeah, I agree. He did not throw towards JC at all because he knew. JC is JC. Let's just call it what it is. You know what I mean? You're not going to test this dude. He is top 5 in the NFL. If not top 3 corners in the NFL. You're not going to win. I don't know what the win percentage is. If somebody could find that and put that in chat, I would like to see that. You know? Because I don't have access to my laptop at the moment. So I can't get that information for you. But I would assume it's one of the top 3 in the NFL right now. And then Mike Jack, such a great cornerback number 2, man. Yes, sir. I love that comment, Black Poppy, because you're exactly right. Oh my God, that's a dead deer. Holy crap. Rip belt. Rip Bambi, man. Rip Bambi. On the way back from Charlotte. May he trot to his mother. Anyway, back to the content. Yeah, Mike Jack was a workhorse out there against Tampa, man. I love Mike Jack. I will forever love Mike Jack as long as he keeps doing what we did against Tampa. That was fantastic. Charlotte, North Carolina, it's been an honor. I'll be back. Hopefully for the playoff game. But I'll be back. You can guarantee that. As we look at the wide receiver core, the amount of catches versus targets was very, very nice, and that's how you knew this was Bryce Young running this offense. Because even early on, we were trying to take deep shots, you know, and that's how I knew that it was Bryce Young running the offense. It wasn't Dave Canales, because if Dave Canales was running the offense, we wouldn't have taken any deep shots at all. We've been running the ball straight at a brick wall, you know, and that's the problem. Is you can't just run into a stack box over and over and over and over again. You know, this isn't the John Fox days with that garbage offensive coordinator that we had. I forget his name. Somebody knows it. Yeah, but we don't speak that guy's name anymore in Carolina. He was atrociously bad. But look how far we've come. You know, from that to where we are now, where we're actually calling like deep shot plays. We're calling out screens. We're calling out, you know, so many of these beautiful plays on this route tree, you know, that seem to work, you know, and work to Ted's strengths. They work to Coker's strengths, you know, they work to Tommy Trimble's strengths, you know, when he's blocking and doing his thing. You know, every one of these plays works to these players' strengths. And that's what I love. Because if they weren't, then we would have a lot more 3 and outs. And we would be losing games. How was the game, Corey? I heard it was really loud. Oh, yeah. It had 2015 energy the entire day. That place was rocking. I haven't seen it like that since 15, bro. That game was such a nostalgia trip for me, and I loved every second of it. That is... If you were at that game, that's what it felt like back in 2015 if you weren't there. I'm just saying it now. Even the tailgate felt like 2015. Even the tailgate. I was like, what? Bro, they were handing out free energy drinks. I was like, say what? Man, say less. Give me one of those. Yo. Bruh. I'm gonna bet that was a great game to go to for the money. Oh, absolutely. Worth every cent, buddy. Worth every cent. I got one of those black rally towels that they gave us. Yeah. I was waving that thing like no tomorrow, man. I am so honored and privileged to be a part of that right there. Because, like I said, man, this is just the beginning. Taking this division crown, this is just the start. We're just starting to paint that beautiful Mona Lisa picture of what this team could be. And I'm so excited for what the future holds for this team. If we can do what we've been doing today, you know, this year, preparation-wise, study-wise, coming into the game and just turning that into points and doing things the way we're supposed to be doing it, and not being stupid, This is huge. We have created so many opportunities for ourselves. And I think that's the buzzword of the day is opportunities. Because we got that opportunity to take the crap, you know? I hope we're waving towels next week too. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody that's going to that game that got one of the black towels, if they're handing them out again, you better wave them. You better wave them. Wave them for a brother, man. I won't be able to make it up there for next week, but, you know, because of Christmas, but it is what it is. You know, this time of year is extremely busy for me. I got people coming into town, so I got stuff to do this week, man, but that's why I'm heading back today. Otherwise, I wish I could have stayed all week up in Charlotte, man, and just hung out with y'all, man. I wish. And just enjoyed the city. But I got responsibilities, so I got to head back home, you know, to South Carolina, take care of my business. You know, that way I can head back up here another day. But, you know, Charlotte is such a beautiful place, man. It really, really is. It's full of amazing people. It's full of energy. It's full of life. And especially after the Panthers win over the Buccaneers. Because, oh, man. Y'all should have seen Mid Street. Mid Street was incredible. We had the drummers out there with full drum sets this time. It wasn't just 10 drums, it was full drum sets, dog. On both streets. I was like, yeah. That's the type of energy we need. You had a guy out there with a freaking trombone. It felt kind of like New Orleans style. I was like, what is going on here? Like, I love these people though, man. I love these people. There's so many talented musicians out there and so many talented people, you know, that kind of do their thing. And special shout out to the staff in the stadium. You know, they go above and beyond to deliver you a great experience. And I love these guys every year, man. They are special people, you know. So Mr. Tepper, Mrs. Tepper, anybody in the front office that's seeing this, man, reward these people, man, for real. Reward these people, give them a bonus or something, you know. Real talk. Because when you go to a game and you're trying to have the best experience that you can possibly have, you want people like that to greet you with a smile, you know, help you out, you know, help you get your foot in the door, you know, as easily as possible through the metal detectors and whatnot and all the security bull crap, you know. And these people are just incredible people, man, you know. I just love it. I love it. They're exceptional human beings. And shout out to the hiring teams that hire these people too, because they need to get credit too. When you hire these types of people, you're going to have a lot of success and a lot of good ratings and a lot of happy people, you know, coming through the gate, especially on a day like that. And I tell you what, nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning when we're in first place. I'm honored to be in the building, to have been in the building to witness us getting first place, man. I'm honored. I'm glad I could bring that energy to you guys, man. I'm so very honored and privileged that I get an opportunity to do that. And I recognize that, man. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody's got that kind of money, man. You know? And I try to come up here when I can and rep y'all too, you know what I mean? Rep for the people that can't be here, you know, in Charlotte. Because everybody deserves to have a chance to be represented in a Panthers game, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. Especially the people that can't be there, because y'all are the real ones, man. Y'all are out here working these 9-to-5 jobs. Y'all are making that money. Y'all are making that bag, you know what I'm saying, to feed your families, to keep your lights on, your food on the table. Hey, I respect that. You ain't got the money to go to a Panthers game. I respect that. I get it. You got other priorities. You got bigger things to worry about. Some of y'all living paycheck to paycheck. Man, I see y'all. I see y'all doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all. And I recognize y'all. I see all of y'all. And that's why whenever I go to these games, I represent for everybody in this group, in this subscriber base. Everybody. Not just 1, 2, or 3 of you. No, everybody. Because we show up as a collective group when I show up to these games. I'm representing everybody. And I don't take that lightly. That's why I'm the loudest person in every section I sit in. I pump that whole section up, man. I start chants. I get everybody rolling. You know? Because I know that's what y'all would want to do. You know? Some of y'all are more passive, you know, just watching the game type things. And I respect that too. But look at this traffic, man. Come on. I'm trying to speed up. Takes a second. There we go. But yeah, yeah, some of y'all fan a different way, you know, than others. And I represent all of y'all in different ways. So I bring the energy, man. I do. I bring the energy every game for everybody. Every game that I can come to. Because it means something to everybody, you know? This team means so much to so many people. Wherever you are in the world. You know, whether you're in Australia, whether you're in Japan, whether you're in Germany. Man, shout out to the German fans, man. Y'all are some real ones out in Germany. I see y'all, man, last year. Man, y'all showed up last year. I love it. I'll say this. If the Panthers were ever to move out of Charlotte, put us in Germany. Put us in Germany. Because these people will show up every single game. Win, loss, or tie. They will show up. These are some real ones out there. But we ain't moving out of Charlotte, though. Nah. That ain't happening anytime soon. Y'all best believe that. We signed a contract to keep us here through like 30 something. I forget what year. But yeah, they're gonna stay in Charlotte. talk about the Chiefs in a minute because, like, I saw that notification on ESPN yesterday. I was messaging people about that yesterday. But yeah, we'll cover that once we get all the Panthers content done. But yeah, we're gonna be waving towels next week too, man. For real, we are. That game against Seattle is going to be lit. I'll be watching it from home, but I'll be enjoying every second. I'll tell you that. I'll be soaking it in my sponge. And just walking around the city, man, just enjoying that energy and enjoying like everybody's responses, you know, talking trash to some Tampa fans. You know, it was a good time, man. It was a great time. Oh man, what a great day. And I'll say this too, I won $100 off the freaking Chargers too. Let's go, Chargers! Thank you so much. Because we all knew the Cowboys were going to choke again. We all knew it. You knew it. I knew it. Everybody knew it. Come on, man. Easy $130, man. Easy money. That's going straight in my pocket, son. Man, I don't bet on the Panthers though, man. I don't do it. I only did it that one time against the Saints. The first time we played the Saints when I was in that building against the Saints. And I regret doing it because it brought bad karma on us. And I'm not doing it no more. Nope. Not betting on them Panthers no more. Not doing it. Not doing it. That's not something I want to do anymore. Can y'all like speed up, do something? Like you're barely going 60. Go somewhere. Gas pedal's on the right, dog. Did you forget where it was? Y'all blocking both lanes, homie. You're both going the same speed and you're blocking both lanes. One of you speed up, one of you go back behind. That's how it works. Thank you. There we go. There we go. There we go. See, you do have brains. God almighty. Freaking North Carolina drivers. Every time I come up here, y'all on some bull crap, man. Bruh. But yeah, I ain't trying to bring that negative karma up on this Panthers team, man, by betting on them. I ain't betting on this team no more. I bet on everybody else but the Panthers. And I'm not betting against us either. You already know I'm not. Now, if we had Matt Rule as a coach, or what's his face as a coach, then I'd be putting some money in, because you already know why. You already know why. I don't need to say it. We already know why. I'll be making some money off these people, man. But not this year, though. I made one mistake doing it, and I'm not doing it again. Cost me about $50 too when I did it. I was like, son of a gun. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was saying a lot less family-friendly words that day, though. But you know what? We came back. We kept pounding. We kept coming back from the grave. We're like that Undertaker meme, man. That's exactly what it is. We're the Undertaker meme. We just come out the casket. Just put a chokehold on you. And we don't stop. We don't stop, dog. This scene, I love it. What you got right here is a happy Panthers fan. And a very, very happy visitor to Charlotte. Because I love the restaurants. Shout out Dilworth. Love that place. Go check it out on West Moorhead Street. Way on down there. Go check them out. Good food. Shout out to the hotels in Charlotte. Most of them are pretty cool, man. I've had nothing but good experiences from all but one of them. You know, shout out to the businesses. Shout out to the local merchants, you know, trying to sell their Panthers gear. I saw a Jonathan Stewart jersey. Yeah, a Jonathan Stewart jersey with the old Panther logo on it, right near the stadium. You know which guy I'm talking about if you've been to any of these games. Shout out to that dude, man. He's a real one too. I like him too. That runs that shop off of Moorhead Street, right near the dugout. I like that guy. You know, and all of this just put together just made for an amazing experience in Charlotte. And that's outside of the game itself. Charlotte knows how to entertain, man. They know how to bring people in, man. And they know how to show people and leave with a smile on their face if you're not from there. I will definitely say that about the Queen City, man. I love the Queen City. Man, it's a beautiful day out. I'm celebrating a Panthers win over them Tampa Bay Bucks. Yee yee! Oh, it feels good, man. It feels good. I just hit the South Carolina border right now. But, you know what it is? Beautiful day today. A little warm, actually. How y'all feeling today? Talk to me. Tell me who you want to talk about today. We can talk about a lot of these different players. I want to talk about, you know what? Let me start off by saying shout out to Nick Scorton, man. Nick Scorton was a baller in that game against Tampa. People weren't even paying attention to this dude. He got so many doggone run stops, man. Crucial run stops. Shout out to who else do I want to shout out in that team? Shout out Bobby Brown, man. Bobby Brown came to play. This dude, like, for 4 straight weeks now, he has consistently come to play. consistently. That's a player I want on my team right there. You know, in the future. If we're trying to run stop, yeah, keep him around. We're going to have a stream on what players we're going to keep, toss, draft, potentially, and free agent possible pickups. We're going to have like 2 or 3 streams dealing with just that before March and April, where I really lock in and I start doing some real work with the draft and just do nothing but draft work. You know what I'm saying? For those 2 months. But first we got to figure out who we're keeping, who we're tossing, you know, for that stream. Me and the team chat will have a meeting on that, and we'll figure out what we want to do. You know, it'll take us about 2 to 3 hours, you know, figure out what we want to keep, what we, you know, and then we'll lock in, you know, and tell you the results of what we all voted for. And why we thought so, you know? Because, and this reflects Blitzball Champ too, because he's in the team chat too. So, it's both of our streams, you know, locking in with these choices. Once we start that stream later on. And that'll be after we get done with the playoffs, you know? We'll have that stream and we'll tie it all together in a nice big bow and leave it under your Christmas tree as an extra present. Normally I don't do that, but because we're in building mode and we are in now winning mode with this team, I feel that stream is necessary. Or a couple of streams is necessary, because we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of making sure that we seal up every nook and cranny now as we prepare for year 3 of Dave Canales, you know, and this building process. This stepladder process. We know what we're looking for. We know what we're trying to do. And we know the goals. This management has paid full attention to the success that we're having right now is a result of that. We paid attention to the talent. We paid attention to where we want it, how we want it put there, what's going to happen, why it should be there. You know, the 5 W's of football, we're doing it. The 5 D's of dodgeball. I'm just kidding, y'all. But yeah, we're following the 5 W's of football, and we're doing it well. I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed. I did say 7 to 9 wins this year, and I was right on target. Didn't I say 7 to 9? Y'all clocked me on that. Y'all clocked me on that. I was dead on target. And when you're dealing with the playoff push, it's either 9 or 10 wins in order to dance. And we're sitting on 8 wins right now. this division has been bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for the past 5 or 6 years. If you follow kind of the trends that have been going on, you know, Falcons would beat the Saints, Saints would beat the Bucks, Bucks would beat the Falcons, Bucks would beat us, you know, and typically we're at the bottom of the food chain, but now it's Atlanta. Now it's Atlanta. And Tampa's starting to lose ground. And if they don't start upgrading soon, we're going to take full advantage of that. Next year, you might see a weaker Tampa Bay team and a stronger Panthers team. I'm saying it now. I think it's going to happen. Because they are neglecting a lot of really key pieces on that roster right now as far as upgrading. If you've been paying attention, they kind of got sloppy in this last draft. And, you know, we're taking advantage. They had to spend money. They had to make a trade or two, you know, whereas we didn't have to trade. We didn't even have to make a move. And that shows you where we're at. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that we have done all of this without even making a single trade is impressive. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cop after somebody. Trying to chase him down. I had to kind of hide my phone because you're not supposed to have phones out, you know, on the highway in South Carolina. You're trying to get somebody. I don't know who you're trying to get. Golly. Glad it ain't me for once. But yeah, the Buccaneers have been neglecting a lot of positional spots as far as upgrades last year. In this past year, where we've fully taken advantage. Their secondary has definitely gotten weaker since last year. And we took full advantage of that. We got a couple of passes into Tet McMillan, you know. And let me say this. If you're looking at XL and the amount of non-catchable balls that he's had in that game, look at Tampa's defense. Tampa's defense in the first half was actually really good. And I'll say this because if you were watching, cop, bro, cop. Don't speed. You're welcome. But if you're paying attention to the fact that we were taking deep shots during that game in the first half, that proves the fact that this was Bryce Young running the offense, and he was just not finding success. At first I thought, okay, maybe this is Dave Canales trying to look at the offense with, you know, we had a bunch of running plays, and then I saw the deep shots and I was like, nope, this is Bryce Young. The rollouts, the deep pass shots, the short checkdowns, yeah, this was Bryce all day long. And that's when I knew, okay, Tampa's defense is doing a good job in this first half. They're limiting what we can do. They're taking advantage of that mismatch with XL, you know, and there's nothing more we could have done. So, I mean, what more do you want XL to do? Become Superman and just randomly punch the guy out and catch the ball? I don't know what you want him to do in those situations in the first half. Like, the dude has proven he can catch the ball. That was just really, really good defense. And if people have refused to acknowledge that, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, like, if you want to keep bashing XL, you know, honestly, I wouldn't. There's no reason to. There's literally no reason to. The dude has been balling out the last 3 weeks. Come on, give XL his credit. Get off his back, man. When you've got excellent defense, there's nothing more that can be done. You can throw that ball and perfectly place that ball as many times as you want. If that defender is on him, like Donkey Kong, man, you're not getting that pass in there. It's just not happening. I don't care how big and bad you think you are. Well, them highway cops after some people today, man. Ooh, that's the third cop I've seen so far. Go get him. Oh, he trying to get ahead of this traffic, ain't he? That's exactly what you're doing. But I mean, like, what else do you want XL to do? Put on a cape and just like randomly punch somebody out to catch the ball? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, leave him alone. That was good defense in the first half. And I've been reading post after post after post of oh, XL has bricks for hands. No, he doesn't. Go look at his freaking stats. Okay, in the first half of the year, yes, he did. But in the second half of the year, this dude's been getting open. I don't know. How else do you want me to articulate the fact that the dude has skills? Like, by saying that he has bricks for hands, you're saying he cannot catch the ball at all. That's essentially what you're saying. And that is clearly not the case. He has proved it over and over and over again. Yes, he does have hands. Yes, he can catch the ball. Yes, he can do the things you're asking him to do. You know, and when the guy gets defended, oh yeah, we're back to that headline of, oh, XO has bricks for hands again. It's like, come on, man, leave him alone. What do you want from him? A freaking Pulitzer Prize? Come on. I don't know what else you want from XL. You want him to do backflips out there? He'll do backflips for you, just to catch the ball. I mean, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm getting people off his back. But he's got to do the work. You know what I mean? If I vouch for him and he catches the ball, okay, cool. You know, thank you. You know, you made my vouching legitimate. But if you're going to sit there and have bricks for hands for the next like 3 games because of that, going into the playoffs, okay, that makes me look like a clown. You know, so All I'm saying is, when I vouch for him and I tell people to get off his back, get the job done, XL. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got nothing to talk about when it comes to that. Because, I mean, people are going to talk regardless. They're going to say whatever they want to say. You know? But when you make them rethink their whole entire position of what they thought your team was, like Stephen A. after that Cowboys game, that's when you're doing something right. That's when you know you're doing something right. And that's exactly what we did. When we beat the Rams, Ocho was, ooh, boy. Y'all should have heard Ocho. Y'all should have heard Ocho after that Rams game, dog. That dude was loud. And I loved every second of it. People kept doubting him, keep doubting him, keep doubting him, keep doubting him. Okay. 8-3 when we're an underdog. 8-3. I'll say it again. 8-3 when we're an underdog. Keep putting us as an underdog. See what happens. We love it, bro. We feed off that. That is fuel for our fire. We use those newspaper clippings as burning material. That's exactly what we do. And it is so fun, man. Reading all these like newspaper articles and just stuff on the internet, you know. Back in the day, you had to wait until you had the newspaper in hand to figure out what was going on. You know what I mean? Like, how many of y'all back in the day had to do that? I grew up in the age where cell phones looked like bricks. You know what I mean? So I was getting newspaper clips. I was watching Panther games on TV. You know, them old school TVs with the John Fox days, and now, like, just going through my phone, just looking at social media and seeing like all this stuff, man. It feels like the old days, man. It really does. It feels amazing. Just reading everybody's posts, enjoying everything that I'm seeing on the internet. Man, it's so fun. That's what happens when we win, man. We create new perspectives about this team through the media and show them that this is who we are. You know, we're not that team that played the Saints. We're not that team that choked against the Patriots. You know, like we are who we are. We beat the Rams. We beat the Tampa Bay Bucks. You know, we beat the Green Bay Packers. We beat Dallas. That's who we are. And that's what we've been trying to teach these people is this is who we are. You know? We've been trying to show everybody this is who we are. So when we go out and prove it, and we win these games, and we show people, okay, this is who we are. Yo, haters, we're gonna need you to shut up now. We're gonna need you to keep that trap closed. We don't want to hear you for another week. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to hear from the peanut gallery, because we're getting it done. And when you create all of these opportunities as a team, you find success in the most unlikely ways. I mean, look at Sanders, man. Look at Sanders. That dude, we hadn't even been throwing this dude the ball, like, at all this year. And Mr. Sanders, the tight end, hauls in his first touchdown of the year. Because we showed discipline. We showed creativeness. You know, we showed talent. And we created a route tree that allowed him to find the end zone as a red zone threat. Because that is exactly what he is. He's a red zone threat. So, let's use him as a red zone threat. We did, and we got the touchdown. Nobody's going to guard him. Nobody's been watching him all year. I saw him on the field. I said, watch this. Boom. Touchdown. Mr. Sanders. Touchdown. And that's what's exciting to me, is the fact that this dude can disappear off the radar for about 4 or 5 games, and then all of a sudden, boom, big play. I love it, bro. I love it. So when you showed me that right there, you know, people aren't going to guard it. They're going to be looking at him like, okay, he's not a threat. Let's hone in on Ted. All of a sudden, you see Bryce Young roll out that direction, escape a sack, and then boom, touchdown pass, wide open in the end zone. And you're thinking, okay, let's ball then. Let's go then. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's creative. That's where that creative stuff comes in when it comes to creating the playbook. Because you got to do the unexpected. You got to continue to deliver the unexpected. Otherwise, these teams are going to keep honing it on you and keep stuffing you. Nobody was looking at Sanders at all. At all. They didn't even see this dude as a threat. Because you don't see him out there. He's not catching balls. So why would you guard him with anybody other than just like a linebacker, you know? Or a weak side linebacker, or maybe a nickel corner. All of a sudden, he's only got one guy to beat back there. Oh, that's easy sauce. Let me get open. And then you watch Bryce Young come out of that sack. Boom. Oh, hey. Look at me. I'm wide open in the end zone. Boom. Touchdown. That's creativeness. And I love it. I love it, and I want more of it. Bryce Young, brilliant play, buddy. I don't know if it was you that came up with that or the front office, but brilliant play. And I'm very, very happy with that. Because that's how you get it done, right there. That's how you get it done. Plays just like that. No one's watching them, man. Who's going to be watching Bryson? You know? Like, who's going to be watching Sanders out there? Nobody. Who's going to be fully guarding Coker, you know, on an inside route? Nobody. And that's exactly why we get these first downs and chain movers. Is because nobody is guarding these guys. They're all guarding Ted. They're all trying to guard XL out there. You know, because they see those two as the main threats. But see, they didn't fully do their homework if they think that Coker is not a full-time threat in all areas of the field. They didn't fully do their homework when they didn't see Sanders on tape. Because, see, with Sanders, you got to go back 2, 3, 4 games to see that he's a red zone threat. He's not just a regular wide receiver or a regular tight end. No. Sanders is different, man. He's a wide receiver / tight end, really. Because he moves like a wide receiver. If you've ever seen him play, he moves like a wide receiver. That's why when I saw him get open, I was just like, bruh, he's putting on those wide receiver moves. I was like, y'all better watch him. Y'all better keep an eye on him from now on. You can't leave him unmanned. Sanders will cook you. Oh, y'all made a big mistake leaving my man Sanders open on that touchdown. Y'all made a big mistake. Because now, this dude always shows up like 1 or 2 plays every once in a while. But you mostly see him as a blocker on screen plays. That's really the only times you see him come in. See, nobody knows that, and that's why I haven't advertised that up until this point. I noticed it. I haven't advertised it, though. Because I know we got NFL scouts coming in and out of these streams. I'm not stupid. I'm aware of it. So when I noticed that, I said, all right, bet. Let's see. Let's see how long it takes before we get him the ball. And I knew I was going to get a few questions about Sanders. I knew I was. And I casually brushed it off and I said, why aren't we throwing him the ball? You know? And I said that casually, you know, I was just like, why aren't we throwing him the ball? And then all of a sudden, boom, touchdown. Because nobody was guarding him. Nobody was looking at him at all. And that's exactly the time to take advantage. Because they didn't see him as a threat. When you're sitting there off the grid and just blocking people for 3 to 4 games, nobody's going to take you seriously on the field, you know, on defenses. Perfect time to strike. Perfect time to throw up a route tree to him. Way to go, Bryce Young, paying attention, man. Way to go. That is sharp. Bryce Young is sharp, y'all. I don't think y'all realize how much of a student of the game Bryce Young is. He's learning from Cam Newton. He's learning from Luke Kuechly. He's learning from all these great players, man. Put some respect on his name as far as the level of intelligence of his football intelligence. Because it is there. It is 1,000% there. I've been impressed with it since he came in. And it was evident during that 2-minute drill that I saw in the training camp when he was a rookie. I said, hold up a minute. If this dude can run a 2-minute drill like that, let's find out. Let me find out then. You know what I mean? And let's talk about Bryson, because who is going to target Bryson over there? Bryson Tremaine. Nobody's going to target this dude. They think he's just a basic slot receiver, blah, 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 blah. You know, you look at his stats, that's what you think. the problem with that logic is when he gets used in the right route trees, he is just as dangerous as Coker is, if not more so. So y'all want to keep that same logic, go ahead. I dare him to put a weak side linebacker on Bryson in short and medium long yardage. A trash weak side linebacker. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens. Test him. Test him and find out. All right, you guys want to go 100? Go ahead. Speed demon. Sorry about that. Bunch of idiots on the road. But yeah, that's the beautiful thing when you're not seeing these guys show up on tape for 3 or 4 games, and you think, okay, yeah, the usual suspects are getting a ton of yards, the main 3, you know, and you're not even looking at Sanders, you're not looking at Bryson, you know, you're not even looking at Renfro, who's on our depth chart as well. We got depth coming out the wazoo at wide receiver, but people don't see it. They think, yeah, Renfro's washed up. Bryson's a training camp guy. You know, this is what they're thinking when they start, you know, scouting this team, this wide receiver crew. They're thinking, okay, y'all got 3 main wide receivers and that's it. Okay, keep that same attitude. Keep that same energy. Bring that into a game and find out. Because Bryce will hit each one of those wide receivers that are lower on the depth chart, and it will burn you for yardage and move the chains. Keep that same energy. Keep that same mindset. No. Don't adjust it at halftime just because you've seen some people move around. Now keep that same energy for 4 whole quarters, because Bryce will eventually get to him, and you will get roasted. Then y'all see him catch a ball, you know, just last week. Oh, and my favorite one, Jimmy Horn. Whoever designed that jet sweep for Jimmy Horn, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Because when we first introduced that jet sweep with Jimmy Horn Jr., I thought, okay, you're trying to run with Chuba on a jet sweep, it's not going to work. You try to run with a faster running back, Rico, for instance, yeah, he's going to get to the hole, but does he have the physical strength to move forward? And screw you. Anyway, some dummy in a freaking Toyota in front of me. And then we had the brilliant idea of saying, hold up, we have Jimmy Horn. Let's try that. And it worked. Because they couldn't account for his speed once the acceleration kicked in. And I thought, yes, this is the basis for starting this playbook right here. Because if we start pulling out plays like this, we start doing the unexpected and start using these players to their strengths in the correct route reads, we are going to be a problem for quite a while offensively for other defenses to solve. Bryce Young looked good so far. Looks so fun to watch in person. Yes, he is. He absolutely is. I love his footwork, his hands, everything that he has improved upon since training camp. I've been very impressed. And the way he just steps into these throws, as opposed to where he was just like, I'm going to run around and hope that this works, to start the year. But once he finally locked in, it was like, okay, this is what I need to see from you. Because once you lock in and you start stepping up in the pocket, like Cam suggested, listen to your man Cam. Listen to your man Cam. He knows what he's talking about. He knows a little something about that. He'd been in these situations. And he did. And I mean, continue listening to him, please. Because this dude is a wealth of knowledge for you, Bryce. For real. I bet y'all have discussions every day, don't you? Still haven't gotten the chance to see him live? Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you get that opportunity. That would be amazing. I've seen him twice this year, and I've been very, very pleased with it. With the improvements he's made. I saw him last year under the first year, where we're trying to learn this team, and I thought, okay, yeah, against the Falcons, I'm not going to fault you. We're trying to learn this team. We're trying to learn what these guys can do and can't do, all of that. So I didn't even fault him for that, really. I wasn't thrilled that we didn't beat the Falcons, but, any day that I'm in that stadium is a good day. You know what I mean? Regardless of whether we win or lose. It gets me out of the house. It gets me up to North Carolina, up into Charlotte, so I'm happy with it. To where I get to watch these boys in person, I could be more pleased to have an opportunity like that. Bryson has made some incredible catches this year for us, actually. Yes, he has. And that thing, like, he comes up big every once in a blue moon, and then you don't see him. He disappears like the groundhog for about 3 or 4 games, and then he'll reappear again right when you need him most. And I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome to have that kind of a tool in your tool belt in the wide receiver room, because it's so big, When you got guys that defenses will not take seriously because they don't have film on them, that is a major advantage. And we take advantage of it every time we get a chance to. And I love that. That is football intelligence right there. That's using your wide receivers in a very clever way. And I'm very, very impressed. Jimmy Horn too, yeah. We were just talking about that jet sweep. Bryce hits like a champ. Yes, he does. I'm very impressed. I didn't think he was built like that until that second year, man. That second year when he started taking those major hits, I was like, bro, okay, this dude beefed up. He did his homework. He worked out in the gym, and he got built up, man, to where now he can take some of those hits, and he's not just a twig anymore, like everybody thinks he is. I'm not saying he didn't start out that way. What I'm saying is this is where he is now, and I'm impressed with it, because the man is putting in the work. He's talked to Cam Newton. He said, okay, what's your regimen? What was your plan? What was your nutrition plan? What was your workout? Maybe I might try some of that and see what happens with me. And it worked. And now he's taking hits, And hopefully, we hope to God he doesn't have to take many more hits. But he is taking hits where he needs to. in order to get the ball down the field. But the fact that he's taking some of those hits is on the offensive line, though. They need to do a much better job of protecting him, and that's on Ickey. That's on a couple of guys on that offensive line, that have kind of been a little bit lackluster when it comes to that as of lately. But we've been doing all right. We've been doing okay. I'm not going to bash anybody. I'm not going to throw anybody's name under the bus on the offensive line right now. What I'm going to say is, we could do a little better. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But here's the thing. I'm not going to throw any shade at these guys because we've had so many rotations on the offensive line, as far as people coming in and out. So there's no reason to throw any smoke at these guys, or call anybody out. I think they're all doing just fine. If Ickey drops a block once in a blue moon, but covers the rest of it for 90% of the time, hey, I'm not mad at it. But it cannot come at a crucial time, though, and that's why I let Ickey hear the smoke, man, on that one missed block, is because of the timing. That's the only reason. Normally, I would not do that. If he was holding his blocks, for 90% of the game, and he screwed up on that one missed block in the second quarter, middle of the second quarter, where we really aren't doing too bad, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to say, Ickey, lock in. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. Instead of, you have one job, blah, 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 and giving them all the smoke. It's about timing with him now. And that's what's making me happy, is the fact that he's locking in for 4 whole quarters now, because that was a major concern of mine, all last year. I was complaining about that. I was giving him the smoke for that. Now he's putting in the work. He's putting in 4 whole quarters. And I'm saying, okay, what's your next checkbox, Ickey? What's your next one? Let's consistently block all game long. Let's not have any missed blocks now. Let's get that block ratio up. You know what I mean? So that's your next one. For a couple of these other guys, let's stop the penalties, in critical situations. And a lot of these guys got together, in the last season, they said, yeah, we're going to stop doing that. We're going to lock in. And I got to say, offense, I am freaking proud of you. On that front right there, I'm proud of you. The only reason we kept regressing on that every other week is because Dave Canales was calling the plays. That's the only reason. And everybody got lazy because of that, when Dave Canales started calling them. So I was like, yeah, that's got to stop. We all know what the problem is. It's Dave Canales getting in his ego and being a control freak and saying, yeah, I want the remote control. I want to be able to change the channel here. I want to do what I want to do because it's my house. Freaking Dave Canales, come on, man. Like, use some football knowledge, bro. Be smart. When you see Bryce winning games like this one against Tampa Bay, don't try to wrestle the playbook out of his hands every other week. That's all I'm asking for, bro. Like, you stop doing that and you let Bryce have total control of this offense like Peyton Manning had for an entire year. Look at the damage Bryce could do to the league, bro. With the weaponry we have already, like, we're just getting started. and then you add extra weapons in free agency and the draft, we're looking at like 37 points instead of just 30 next year that we're averaging. 37. Think about that. That's more than most of these teams get in blowouts. Yeah, I said it. If you look at the average of how many points these guys get, you know, before they hit oh God, mind block. Sorry. What is going on here? Why are we stopped in the fast lane? Why are we stopped in the fast lane? I don't like this. Oh my God, traffic. Good God, y'all. Can we move? Can't have Bryce getting hurt. Exactly. And that was my main concern when he was trying to run the ball too. Is like, you got to learn how to slide properly. Like, yeah, you can slide, but you got to be able to slide properly. That's the main problem here. Because we all saw that hit on Bryce during the Saints game. And that's what pissed everybody off, because like, he was sliding properly and, you know, he still got killed. That's the game of football though, you know. They're trying to do more to stop that and prevent that, but there's only so much you can do. So, you know, the league's trying to put certain things in place. But eventually it's just football. Josh Neiman had a pretty great game too. Yeah, I thought he did too. He was solid. All right, so this is what, 3 or 4 solid games from Josh Neiman this year? I say keep him. At this point, I'm saying keep him. How y'all feel about that? I'm in the keep him camp right now. I'm barely there, but I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what his contract looks like. Get me out of this traffic, bro. This traffic is garbage. But yeah, I'm barely at, you know, 60-40 in the keep him camp at this point with Josh Neiman. I've seen enough this year. This is what, 3 or 4 solid games with 4 whole quarters. I've been pretty happy with it. Good comment though, Locke. Appreciate you. I kind of want to talk about Ejiro and Nick Scott a little bit. I do have to go a little bit negative here and go that direction, but yeah, I need to talk about this because he gave up a big play because he was in a coverage defense again. You know, because Ejiro just doesn't know what to do with him. You know, it's like the whole Jimmy Horn. It's like the whole Jeremy Chin situation. You know what I mean? Like, not Jimmy Horn, sorry, but Jeremy Chin situation where he doesn't know really what to do with him, and just keeps putting him, in coverage situations, and it just does not work. The man refuses to admit the fact that he can't guard a parked car. And it's frustrating to me because you'll see him in these single high safety looks and you're like, what? Why is he there? Why is he there? Like, for what reason, bro? It got to the point where they started targeting him specifically. And I said, why? Like, Ejiro, somewhere along the lines, alarm bells have to be ringing in your brain for Nick Scott and saying, we've witnessed him give up big play after big play after big play after big play in these exact situations again and again and again. At some point, the light bulb's got to come on, Ejiro. You got to figure out this is not where he is supposed to be. I don't know how much longer I can keep throwing smoke at you for that, until you figure it out. Because obviously saying nice things to you isn't working, so I'm gonna throw some smoke. And I've been doing that all year. Because I noticed it last year and I said, okay, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna be nice to you last year because we're still trying to figure out what we are and who we are last year. I let it go for the most part. But it did kind of piss me off. I'm not gonna lie. But I let it go. And now we have this year where he's still doing it. He's still putting him in these coverages. And I said, really? You're going to tell me you still haven't figured it out yet, Ejiro? You've had almost a full 2 seasons and you still have not figured this out yet. Like, and when you see Ejiro go on the social media, on the Q&As, he can't figure it out. He can't figure out why these plays are giving up so many big yardage plays. He can't figure it out. I'm sitting there going, come on, Ejiro, for God's sakes, man. The pattern is in the stats. All you got to do is look at it. Dave Canales, the pattern's in the stats. Look at it. Like, somebody on that staff, please tell Ejiro that this is what's going on. Because I don't think he knows. I don't think he does. You can't just say, oh yeah, that's his job to figure that out. No, he has to, unfortunately, he has to be led to a creek like a horse to drink water. Sometimes. With all due respect, man. In a lot of other situations, yeah, he's very, very football intelligent. But when it comes to Nick Scott, he needs to be led to that water. You've got to help him out. I mean, like, I don't know what else to tell you. Because if he continues to do the same stupid crap over and over and over again, and he still hasn't figured it out, I don't know how to help you figure it out. I don't know what else I can say to help you. If you're not seeing it and you're not reading it in the stats, then that's on you. I've done all I can do, bro. Like, I'm literally trying to help you keep your job right now. And, like, that's the only thing that people are looking at, like, what, Gyro needs to be fired because blah, 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 you know. You're still seeing posts about that crap in the Carolina Huddle. My whole thing is, like, if you're part of that Carolina Huddle, though, y'all got some strong opinions. I got to tell you that. With all due respect, y'all got some crazy takes. I respect them, but y'all got some crazy takes. And, you know, it's not just them saying this stuff, though. If it was just them saying that stuff, I would be like, okay, yeah. Yeah, I would probably dismiss it as a crazy take. You know what I mean? But we're talking about the fact that it's not just them. It's a lot of different other people, too, saying that same thing. You know, and they all point to Nick Scott. They all do it. And the fact that they've been doing it all year is not a good thing. That's why I'm saying at some point you got to turn the light bulb on a Gyro and figure it out. Like, we can't do it for you. Only you could do that. Only you could prevent forest fires in our defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, only you could be Smokey the Bear. We can't do it for you. You're running the defense. You know, only you can figure out, okay, this is not the right time to run zone defense or prevent defense. Only you can figure out the fact that this is not the place to put Nick Scott. When you've seen he has run talent and he's leading the whole stack of players on this defense in tackles. At some point, the light bulb's got to come on. How are we going, you know, we can put Lathan back there. Lathan just got a pick this past game. He's saying, what more do I need to do? What more do I need to do to show you that I'm the guy? That's what's frustrating to me. Like a Gyro. I'm taking full credit for Lathan Ransom and his success. Man, get real. You can't take credit for Ransom, yet not take accountability for Nick Scott back there. You can't do both, bro. That's what's frustrating. And he tries to do both. And I'm like, what? Bro, you have to do both. You have to take accountability for Nick Scott, and you have to take credit for Lathan as well. That is your job as a defensive coordinator. You can't just do one and not do the other. It doesn't work that way. Man, I'm so frustrated with that right there. But you know what? I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to enjoy the victory. I'm going to enjoy the celebration. But, you know, I had to go that direction just for a minute. He's got to take accountability for Nick Scott in his placement of Nick Scott. He has to. But you also, as a defensive coordinator, have a responsibility to celebrate your favorite player, Lathan's success at the same time. You can do both at the same time. Yeah, Gyro. That's all I'm saying. All right. As far as the Chiefs, let's get to the Chiefs real quick, and then I'm gonna finish up with a final statement. The Chiefs are going to move out of Arrowhead Stadium. Now, the Chiefs would have been my second team had I not become a Panthers fan. Because I love the history, I love what they do, I love everything about them. You know, they're awesome people. You know, and I love Andy Reid. You know, I love Andy Reid to death. Please let me meet this dude, because I want to. I would love to. And just have a 5-minute conversation with him, even. You know, even just 5 minutes, you learn like a ton about football, you know, from Andy Reid. He's just so doggone smart, you know? And one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet, too. Because he'll be like, yeah, I just want a cheeseburger. You know? I just want a cheeseburger. After winning the Super Bowl. That's it. That's all he wants. And I'm like, bruh, I love that. But yeah, they're moving out of Arrowhead Stadium. They're moving to Kansas City, Kansas, with a dome. That's legitimate. That's on ESPN. At first, I thought it on one of those Bleacher Report, you know, websites, and I thought, this is a fluke. They ain't moving out. And then I saw it on ESPN, and I said, yep, this is legitimate. All right. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to tear down Arrowhead Stadium. That's the word from Kansas City right now. I've got a buddy that is a Panthers fan that converted to a Chiefs fan that lives up in Kansas City right now. That's how I know that's legitimate. So, here's the thing. What's going to happen to the stadium is they're talking about tearing it down. I'm not a fan of that right there. I say I want at least half of it still standing, so you can at least make it into a museum. The history in that building is incredible. There is absolutely zero reason to tear that thing down. Zero reason. But the upkeep, you know, I get that. That's why I say half of it. I'm willing to compromise. You know, and I halfway have a say in that because I'm a partial Chiefs fan. Because I feel like I'm part of the Chiefs family, you know what I mean? In some way, you know. Because I got buddies that are Chiefs fans, you know. I love the history. I love Andy Reid, you know. So I'm a partial Chiefs fan. You know, and there's nothing wrong with me doing that. Okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, when I say I have a foot in the door there, you know, to talk about stuff, but I don't have my whole body in there to talk stuff about it, you know, and have a say in it, that's fine, you know. But at least I got a foot in the door as a partial Chiefs fan, you know what I mean? So, what's going to happen is now you don't have an NFL team in Missouri once they move out of Arrowhead. What you can do is you can put Missouri on the expansion list, and when you want to start expanding the league, go to them first. Because Missouri fans will still pop up, man. They will. You know, for a game. If you put another NFL team there, they will show up. They will support that team. Most of them are going to split off and join the Chiefs, you know, and that's fine. But if they don't and they show up, then you're going to you know, it will be enough to justify the upkeep of the Arrowhead Stadium. You just need to remodel it and keep a lot of the historical landmarks in the stadium and treat that part of the stadium as a museum, as an art piece. You know what I mean? That's what I would suggest doing. That way the NFL, you know, can continue to have their upkeep and not take a massive hit money-wise. But if they are taking a massive hit regardless of that, then that becomes a whole different discussion. Then you got to figure out, okay, what are we doing next, in Missouri? And the management in Missouri is just trash. And that's from my buddy that lives up there. So, I don't know what to tell you. But this is information coming from the buzz from the city of Kansas, Missouri. So, I think it's interesting to take all of that into account, and recognize that all of this is relevant. We've got to have all of that stuff entered into the discussion. Because if you don't, then I don't know how you have that discussion properly. They're staying in Arrowhead for 2 more years, then move to Kansas City. Got you. Shout out Kenny for coming up with that comment right there. Appreciate you, Kenny. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's what I'm hearing as well. So my question to this chat is this. If they do move to Kansas City, who would you like to see the statue up of? Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce? Who would you put a statue up of for the new stadium? I'm curious, because for me, I would say Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce would be my top 2 candidates. But I'm sure other people might have somebody else in mind. And that's cool too. I doubt Andy Reid is going to get a statue, but you never know. I doubt it. Tony Gonzalez? Maybe. Maybe. I can see Tony. But didn't Kelce eclipse his record though? That's my question. Last I checked, he did eclipse that record. If he hasn't yet, he's very close. If he did, I don't remember when he eclipsed that record, but I think he did. But Kelce did break the record. That's what I thought. Blackout Sports. Yeah, thank you. For confirming that. And that's why I say, I would not be opposed to Tony Gonzalez, but I also would not be opposed to Travis Kelce either. I knew as soon as I saw Xavier Worthy going that low on the draft board, Kansas City was going to pick him up. I knew it. I had that sixth sense. I just knew it. Because, we were going after Tetero and McMillan. That was obvious from day one. For the people that were in the building in Carolina, we all knew it, But the people outside of it had no clue. So all the big brains, that usually do this had McMillan on their board, but they weren't expecting us to actually choose him. You know, it was 50-50. We could have chosen any one of those three wide receivers. And I was telling people immediately, stay away from Joseph Ossai. Because Joseph Ossai is only a deep threat. That's all he is. That's all he does. So the Colts got him. As soon as they got AR, I saw it coming. And I said, all right, cool. That leaves actual legitimate wide receivers out here for us. And we got our wide receiver, so we're happy as a bunch of clams right now. And he is winning games for us. So the rest is history. But I knew as soon as I saw Worthy going that deep on the depth chart, the draft board, I said, nah, man. This man's getting drafted by the Chiefs. Watch this. I called it too. I called it on stream. It's on VOD. I knew it. I had that sixth sense feeling. And, you know, he started doing some work, man. I said, all right, bet. But, you know, we're where we are, you know what I mean? We are where we are. Anyway, whoa, a bird just almost flew into my windshield. Weird day, man. Anyway, I'll end it with this. We got one more to go, man. We're not finished. We're not finished. Hit that like button, hit that button, hit that bell, select all, and comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game post polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, such as scheduling the channel, and for the Yahoo Sports app, keep pounding Fantasy Bowl. Thank you so much for joining us for this live stream. We'll be back later on this week for the preview stream for the Seattle game after Christmas. I can't promise when that's going to be because I'm going to have a busy schedule. So is Blitz. So is everybody. So we'll see what happens. But thank you for joining us. Much love to all of you. And as always, stay happy, healthy, and well. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the new subs. And welcome to the family. And we will see you guys in the next live stream. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Panthers first place. Keep pounding. Row, row.